Okay, composition of transformations. This is putting all the different transformations together, so it's like 2 steps. You'll do like a transformation, then a reflection, or maybe a reflection, then a rotation. So it's really just practicing what we did the last 3 days. The actual notes is only going to be a page, and then I'm going to have you practice for 2 pages. So the lesson will be short, and then there'll be more practice on paper. And as much as I know that you practice on Schoology when you do like the multiple choice, this isn't something that you can really learn through doing multiple choice. You have to actually like find the points, graph it, and all of that. So again, kind of short lesson, and then we'll spend probably about 20 minutes just practicing graphing them. So starting at the top. There's one up here, Mark, if you need it.
Wait, what?
There's one up here if you need it. Okay, so composition of transformations. Compositions when you put things together. So a composition of transformations is when 2 or more transformations are applied to a figure. This, and I'll explain what this word means. The composition of 2 or more isometries is also an isometry. An isometry is specifically when you like move the location, but you don't change the size of a shape. So change location, but no change in size. So when you do 2 isometries, it's still going to be an isometry. Okay, one example of a composition of transformations is a glide reflection, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You glide the shape, or you like slide it and then reflect it. It is a translation, the slide part, followed by a reflection. The translation vector and the line of reflection are parallel. Now we're going to look at the first example together. It says, graph the figure and its image under the given transformations. It says triangle ABC has vertices, and it gives you these 3 points. Graph triangle ABC and its image after translation along vector -5, 3, and a reflection in the x-axis. So there's 2 transformations here. We're going to first fill in the original points here. So point A is at 3, 3. B is at 4, -2. And C is at -1, -3. So that is our pre-image. Then we're going to have the middle, and then the final image. Do you want to do points first or graphing first? I guess we'll graph this shape first. So we're going to graph ABC over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there is our pre-image. Now we need to get the next transformation. It says it's a translation along the vector -5, 3. So we're going to perform a translation, and I'm specifically writing it over these points. And the vector is -5, 3, so that means it's going to be -5, and it's +3, so +3. And remember, we can just subtract and add that to the original point. So 3 minus 5 would be -2. 3 plus 3 would be 6. Then I can take 4 minus 5 is -1. -2 plus 3 is +1. And then negative 1 minus 5 would be negative 6. And negative 3 plus 3 would be 0. Okay, now I'm going to graph this shape. So this is A prime. B prime. C prime. Okay, there's the middle image. So they just slid this way. And then the next thing, it says a reflection on the x-axis. So reflect x-axis. The x-axis is right here, as you know. When we did it, we either did it by points or we literally just reflected the points over that line. You could do it either way, but I'm going to focus on the points here. The rule for reflecting in the x-axis, and I have them on the board here. So reflection in the x-axis is x negative y. And so we're going to take these points from our middle triangle and then change them. So negative 2, negative 6. So our x stayed the same, our y turned negative. Okay, so now reflecting this shape over the x-axis, negative 2, negative 6. We double prime is how you would say that, and negative 6, 0. And there's your final image. So as you can see, there's no like shortcuts here. You just have to go through each step. When you do this final step, you have to actually manipulate the middle step. So there's no way to like skip it or shortcut it. You just have to go through and like actually find all the points. Okay, so flip to the next page. This is where we're gonna start. I'm gonna have you start working independently. So at this point, you've learned everything you need to learn, but there's no like really getting this unless you actually practice it. It's kind of like if you're an athlete, just watching the game doesn't really help you get good at the game. You have to actually practice it. It does, Austin. Okay, rotation 90 degrees. So here it's saying that you're gonna rotate this shape 90 degrees, so you'd pull the rule. Again, I wrote them on the board so they're easy to reference. For 90 degrees, it's negative y, x. Okay, so it has j prime, k prime, and v prime here, but in order to get that, we need the original points. So the original points, j, k, and v, I'm just going to pull that off the graph. So j is at negative 1, negative 2. K is at negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, why did I put, okay, it's positive 2, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. So those are the originals. Now I need to perform the rule. So our y is going to come first, and it'll change signs. Because this is negative, and I already have a negative, then it turns positive. And then x just stays the same over here. This will become positive 4, 2, and positive 1, 4. It's also helpful to think about like what you're actually doing. A rotation of 90 degrees, remember that goes counterclockwise, so it's going to go this way, the shape is. Okay, so now I'm going to plot my points. J prime. J prime and 1, 2, 3, B prime. And there's your new shape. Okay, so you are going to continue that process. I'm probably going to put like some like study music on, and then just make sure to check yourself up here as you go, and I'll keep like kind of putting answers up. One thing, you're doing it right now. It's not really homework. You're going to get it done in class. Okay. There is a homework assignment though. There is a homework assignment on Schoology. So we're going to spend about 20 minutes doing these next 2 pages, and then you'll have time to do your homework as well. Something else to note, you have 180 degrees rotation, so you'd pull the rule for that. 270, you'd pull the rule. And then it says rotation of negative 90 degrees. Negative 90 degrees is the same as a positive 270 degree rotation. So keep that in mind. When you pull the rule for this, you're actually going to pull the rule for 270 because it's a negative 90 degree rotation.
Can we just do this together?
No, you have to practice it. You can't, okay, I'll help you back there, but everyone needs to actually do it themselves because watching me is not really going to help you learn it. Okay, so try it on your own as you get stuck. I'm here to help you guys. And I'm going to stop my